when I hear like, what is divine feminine? It is allowing. Like that is the one word that I always hear. It's the allowing. What does a river do? It allows. The water flows wherever it's going to go. It doesn't decide. It just goes. And I think that when we bring that energy and when each of us can anchor that into Mother Earth, a lot can shift for the collective. And it's really hard to take that concept with like, when you bring it out to broader specifics of like, well, you want to just like allow serial killers, like, okay, you know, like, no, we don't want to allow that. That's not what I mean. But it's like to get curious as to the why, you know, what drove that? What brought this person to this place, right? And to allow in that private space of, I'm just gonna, in this moment, allow for this situation or this person. Does that have an impact? And to me, my little personal experiments with this say yes. So, okay, so I said I wasn't going to talk a lot, and then I did. So apparently that was important. Do we have time for meditation?
Yeah.
Okay. So
10 minutes.
I want to, oh, by the way, I just want to say that if anything I said here made you think of something for you and then you like shamed yourself for doing it, that's not allowing. So don't bring any of that on. Okay. That shame is the wounded feminine, you know. You want to allow yourself to, I had that experience and now I have perhaps a new perspective and I'm going to try it. And that's it. Right. Yeah, I want to honor what I've been told, which is it needs to be experienced. So we're going to do a little meditation with the intention of feeling and experiencing the divine feminine, what that energy feels like for us. And when you're doing this, tune into all of your senses, right? Tune into the visuals that you might get in your mind's eye, tune into any sounds that might come in your head, but also in the surrounding, right? If there's a cat scratching at something or someone walking by shouting, like, just we're allowing all of that. Tune into any smells that come up, any sensations in your body, any warming or twinges or muscle, you know, just little nuances. And then any emotion that arises, know that you're in a safe space, that you should allow those feelings, right? If we're talking about water and flowing, sometimes that comes in the form of tears, and don't feel ashamed or anything. Just let that shit flow. Just let it go, you know, let it flow. And yeah, and see what this experience brings to you, and know that whatever comes up is an expression of the divine feminine, and it came up for you. Okay. So before you close your eyes, take a look at, and I'll bring one up to the camera, this lady's mantle. If you guys want to pass one around very carefully, just get close up. Lady's mantle is Alchemilla vulgaris. Oh, here. Okay, sorry guys. And it has this unique way of just holding the morning dew, holding the tears, holding the water of the womb, just holding that divine feminine energy. So I thought it was appropriate to work with her today. So now that you see what she looks like, close your eyes. And let's just imagine that we can shrink ourselves down into floating atop that little puddle of water inside Lady's mantle. So the water is completely holding you and embracing you, feeling completely supported and safe with her leaves rounded about you, basking in the early morning sun. And this feeling of trust comes over you. this feeling of knowing, of being connected to all the waters throughout the world, throughout the universe. Really being held by that knowing and that water. And as the sun begins to rise overhead, Lady's Mantle gently opens her leaf a bit further. And as she does, you and the drop of water she holds gently slides down her stem. And you are sliding with it, still fully supported by that drop of water. And just take notice of where you go, flowing on that bead of water. You absorbed into the earth. Perhaps forces you to grow a little smaller. And that bead of water grows even smaller. You feel yourself drain into a nearby river. You can see yourself floating down the river now, even further supported by even more water. And as you drift carelessly, happily, haphazardly, you can feel yourself being supported by every single drop of water there ever was. Knowing that water holds memory, holds love, passion. You can feel that water connecting to the waters within you. And you notice how carelessly you seem to flow down the river, gently nudging this way and that. No care as to where you might land. Giggling, smiling, laughing, joyfully enjoying the ride. Eventually, that river comes to the opening of a cave. And while the rush of the water seems to calm, you gently float in. You hear drips from the cave ceiling into the water that you lay on, and it echoes. And you're calmed by how quiet and cool this place is. As you float gently in circles, you listen with wide ears, feeling the heartbeat. Remember this sound. You've heard it before when you were in your mother's womb. And you see yourself now in your mother's womb. You're surrounded by divine feminine, divine masculine love, perfect balance, both around you and within you. And you feel yourself swirling, happy and joyful. Hear the wishing of the waters of your mother. You're going to hear other sounds around you outside of your mother's womb. a celebration. It's time for you to be birthed into the world, embodying both the divine feminine, divine masculine, in perfect balance. We remember this light just as the cave opening showed you. And you go through the light as the water rushes alongside you. And the first face you see is your beautiful mother. Happy, joyful, tears of water flowing down her face. And the thing that connects you, the cord, water flowing through it, reminding you of your great connection to Great Mother Earth. And feel yourself embraced now by your mother. Noticing the circle that her arms make with you in it. And being newborn, as you look at her face, you see a bright light like the moon. And on your back and your bum, you feel support like the earth. The earth that holds you. The moon that reminds you of your feminine within. Continue to gaze upon the moon, which was once your mother's face. And as you see the moon changing through its phases, you get to feel the rain that now comes from the sky, washes over you. Notice one particular drip of water seems to fully encompass and embody you. You become the raindrop, which then absorbs into the earth. It flows like a channel into the soil. Feel yourself drawn up by a plant to its stem, up to its leaves. Here you are now, floating atop a drip of water, resting in the soft embrace of Lady's mantle. Staring up at the moon with gratitude in your heart. Closing your eyes, resting. Take a minute to start to come back to your body, eyes. Take a minute to take any notes about your experience, what came up for you. Have a sip of water. How you guys feel? Okay?
A lot of trip.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're just, I started, was it go to another? Actually, it's not. No, walked across my legs. It was, I was like, oh my God. So I was just starting getting it.
I love that she showed up.
She said,
If anyone wants to share about their experience, you're welcome to. You don't
I'll share
have
with
to.
you.
Yeah.
When we were doing the river thing and floating, and you're like, just think of anything that comes up, just float. It was such a nice feeling. So I was like, I don't have to be anywhere to do anything. And that's always, I like that. I have a farm and I have a full-time job and kids. And it's just like, I always feel like I should be doing something and I feel guilty when I'm not. So that feeling of I'm just floating and it's okay, and it's good. And it feels like that's more of a natural state of being. We should have more moments like that in these crazy, hectic, civilized lives that we lead. So that was a really nice feeling. I was like, I think I should be good, just here.
I think that
Present.
you just hit the nail on the head when it comes to Mother's Day.
You shit all over yourself.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, you should all over yourself. Stop shitting on yourself,
Yes.
Kat.
Yeah.
But really, I think that Mother's Day, I know for me personally, I feel entitled to that day to release myself from guilt and do whatever. It's my day, right? Like a lot of us moms, we get that way. But what you said was perfect. That is the natural state of being, is to be free of that motherly guilt that we often put on ourselves and to just kind of let things flow.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
a
really nice.
beautiful message. Thank you.
So thank you.
Anyone else want to share? Don't have to, but I want to make space for it.
I had it interesting when we were, in the pedal and then slid down.
Yeah.
I was sliding down and I hit the ground. And like I stopped and something stopped me from
Oh,
going into the earth.
interesting.
Yeah. I'm like, what am I hitting? And so it was like I was on a leaf or something that wasn't just the earth, So, but getting smaller, I was able to sneak in. And then, but I was like out there and I found myself to the pond.
That's what I would.
Really? And then like down and there's like waterfall, like woohoo.
Yeah.
Down, and then it gets down near the garden where it turns calm and it's like just chill. And then I started losing it.
So you're allowed to.
Yeah.
You were in the flow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
That's what
Some sense of just joy, almost like being a child again. Sitting in the water. I had that same like, this is so fun. Falling out and just riding the water.
Yeah, it brings back memories of like being like a lazy river, like a inner tube or something on a nice August day.
Yes.
No worries.
No worries.
Well, and for me, the birthing and the first face that you see is your mom. First and foremost. Yeah, there is truth in our model that our mothers are much more intimate with their love, touchy
Mhm.
and caressing that fathers in general. That becomes a bigger divide as kids get older.
Yeah, and sometimes I think, because of that, like men even need it more, that those gentle.
I think that's why it becomes one of the primary love languages for men, affection.
Yeah.
Skin hunger, like need to be touched.
Yeah.
And before when you were talking, Kelly, I kept hearing the two words. I think when Bill was talking, I was hearing the word androgyny, about the balance. And then for you, I was hearing like acceptance was a word that kept coming to mind.
Acceptance.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Acceptance. And on so many levels, accepting the way things are, accepting as in receiving, right? A lot of us women, like, we won't receive compliments, we won't receive gifts. So that receptivity, in fact, it's like on my notes. Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're at that time.
Well, so the only feedback Bill gave me was maybe do a song that was written by a woman, because I have some other songs. So I'm doing a song written by Bob Dylan. But
He
it
has
was
a lot of
sung
feminine
and
energy.
made popular by Adele.
Uh,
And the words are lines of and the whole world is on your case. I would offer you a warm embrace. Make you feel. The evening showers and the stars appear. No one there to dry your tears. I would hold you for a minute to make you feel. You know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. Know that from the moment that we've been, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel mine. The storms are rolling and the rolling sea down the highway to regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing ever like it yet. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you. Make you happy, make your dreams come true. Make you feel my love. Make you feel my love.
Nice. Perfect.
Thank you, Dean. I do have a closing Mother's Day prayer. I wrote.
You wrote it?
I write all my prayers. Dear Creator of many names, we thank you for the earth, our true mother, who provides for all of our needs with unconditional love. We thank our human mothers, grandmothers, daughters, sisters, and all women of the world who, like the earth, provide us with nurturing, loving, and compassionate energy, without which we would not exist. We thank the four-legged mothers, the finned mothers, the winged mothers, and all of nature's feminine energy for keeping balance and harmony in our natural world. We pray for the full emergence of the divine feminine to bring peace and balance to this fragile planet. Let us celebrate not just mothers today, but the divine feminine energy in all of creation. Amen. And so it is.
Thanks for being participatory.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's good.